Hey everyone, it's Adam Helfand. Welcome to the podcast. I have a great guest in studio today. It's Chris Quackenbush from Coy Construction, the number one Trex deck installer in Metro Detroit and probably the whole state. Welcome to the podcast, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
So, Chris, real quick, let's do a reset. You've been on the show before. We've been recently to a great, amazing job we're going to talk more about in a minute, but give everyone to the podcast audience about Coy, who you are, how long you guys been around, and everything Coy.
Yeah, Coy Construction has been around for 40 plus years, building decks, screen porches, pergolas, outdoor living spaces for that long. Mike McCoy started it 40 plus years ago, and he's still pushing us around in there and making sure that we're doing the right thing and serving the community.
I remember Mike McCoy when I was a kid, being a contractor, and I've known him for probably 30, 40 years myself. Great company, great team of people. I do appreciate that. And so you guys right now are everything decks. Is that the best way to say it?
Yeah, everything decks. I mean, when it comes to decks, screen porches, roof structures, pergolas, outdoor living space. I mean, we really focus on that. You do one thing and you do one thing right, and it's high quality, and we make sure that everything looks great.
So here we are in the middle of deck season. Okay, homeowners been kicking the can down the road, or they've been saving every week to build a deck, and they want to do a custom deck, or they have an old deck, and now they're ready to pull the trigger. Like, all right, we're going to call Coy, we're going to get an estimate. Let's go through the process of what someone needs to do. Do you want a homeowner to call you first and have you come out, or do you want them to do a little bit of due diligence and pick colors and get an idea, then call you?
So a lot of it is, I mean, a lot of people do pick out colors and try and figure out what they want to do. That's great and all, because it's just a lot easier when it comes down to figuring out which way to go. Sure. When it comes to styling of railing and everything, right? So having that out. But really, like, the design is really for us to come out and look at it. You know, we really want to put our eyes and hands on the actual site, do our measurements, get the right design. Most people, even if it's a redeck, some people are like, if I can do this, I'll tweak this over here. You know, like, okay, let's square off this corner over here. Let's move the stairs over here. So for us to actually see that, we take a bunch of pictures, making sure that's all good. We bring it back to the office, throw it on our CAD program, so then we can kind of see visually what is being changed.
Sure.
If it's a normal redeck where they're like, I love my current deck design, we just got to make sure that we're putting the right materials down, then that's great too, but we still want to have them come into the office.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is, and if you're a homeowner, you're thinking about getting a deck, step one, give the contractor a call, give Coy a call. That way they'll come out, they'll assess your area. And, if you come up with this idea, I want all this, but they come out and they say, wait a minute, you can't do this because of this. You just wasted some time. So this is the best thing to do. Step one, call Coy, you'll come out. Is it a free estimate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then, so they'll call your office, you guys come out, and typically first meeting, hour and a half?
Not even. So, I mean, it's all based on the actual homeowner. What I personally like to do is get out there, interview the homeowner. What are your wants? What are your needs? Sometimes the wants and needs take 5 minutes of talking, and then basically I'm doing measurements and pictures and all that good stuff, right? So I like to make sure that we're fully prepared with all the information that we need to give a great estimate and an accurate quote when it comes down to it, because we don't want to have to come back and say, we never come back, I should say,
sure,
and say, well, we missed this, so it's going to cost this much money, or we missed this because it's going to cost this, right?
You want to be accurate. Measure twice, cut once.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Those are the biggest things on that part of it. But yeah, I mean, I've had instances where 2 hours, we were out there 2 hours talking because we have this and more intricate
information gathering. And by the way, it's not bad if you're there for 2 hours. You're getting to know the homeowner. The homeowner is getting to know you. There's a relationship getting started.
Yep.
So you're there, you're taking measurements, but you're also interviewing the homeowner, asking him, what do you want to use it for? How long have you been thinking about it? These are questions you're going to ask, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times the answers that they give dictate what I would recommend, right? So they might not be thinking of this scenario where they really wanted this space for an L couch or a sofa, but they have 45-degree angles. Let's cut those and let's make those a 90-degree angle so you can stuff that couch a little bit closer. So it makes your living space a little bit bigger, and it feels like a bigger deck just by angling those corners and making them a 90-degree instead of a 45, where they thought that wasn't able to be done because we're reusing the substructure or we're just skinning it. So stuff like that, we learn really quick on what to do and how to maximize their space and give themselves a better experience.
That's important. So if the homeowner's asking questions like this, what questions are you asking the homeowner when you're there? Do you say to them, have you talked about a budget yet? I mean, that's obviously the biggest elephant in the room. How much is it going to cost?
Right. A lot of it, I mean, that's half the battle, is just what is it going to cost? And costs can go so many different ways when it comes to Trex or TimberTech or composite, right? So there's a multitude of different avenues you can go with that. So it's not like a wood deck where you have a wood deck, wood railing, this is what it's going to cost, right? So we do like to know the budget because that can steer us towards, okay, you want composite, this is what you want. Let's go this route. This is what I recommend here. If it's a Trex Basics,
it's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot involved.
There could be a swing of $10,000 depending on what material you go with.
Let me ask you this: with the internet, YouTube, home and garden television, how often do you have a homeowner that you go meet and they think they know the pricing, or, I saw it on YouTube, I need you to do it this way. And you're like, you know what? We don't do it that way because we find that it's better to do it this way.
Yeah.
Do you get that a lot?
Yeah, I wouldn't say a lot, but we do get that on instances where they'll say, well, I heard that this was a better way to build it, or this was a better way to build it. And basically, like, if it looks like it's supposed to go that way, then yeah, that's exactly the way I would build it. Or if it was not, we just explain why the reasons why we would do it this way because of X, Y, and Z. The beams are going to be in the way, like efficiency wise. Do you want a buckboard in the middle, or would you just rather have them all be the same 16 or 20 foot length? So we've gone through all those trials and tribulations to know what is the one way or the other.
You maximize efficiency, which I've seen. Let me ask you this. With homeowners who go online and say deck pricing, how accurate is your pricing to someone said, well, you know what? I went online and it was, 50,000 and you guys are at 48. Is it that close, or is it like you guys are at 48 and that's the price right now? And everyone's like, oh, I can get it done for 22,000. I mean, I would want to think that it's accurate, but I don't believe it.
Sometimes it can be, but that's when it's a maybe a rectangle or just a normal square or whatever. So a lot of things that don't get considered with decks when you do the Google search on that is stairs, how many stairs treads do you need, the railing on that, gates, whether or not you went with a certain type of railing. So a lot of people might look at it and go, well, I just Googled it and this is what it costs. But it costs for this because they used Trex Select railing, not signature railing.
So you have to re-educate people.
Right. And it gives a good estimate. And then honestly, I like to know that as well, because then I know what kind of research you've done to educate you a little bit more, or I don't have to educate you that much, and we can get into maybe more design and get into what colors do you like and all that good stuff. So,
all right, well, that's important. So let's talk about 10 decks. If you sell 10 decks this week, out of the 10 decks, how many of them are going to be Trex?
9.
It's that popular.
Yeah.
So Trex is the standard now. No one uses womanizer treated. Cedar's very rare because it's super expensive. Yep. And then there's the Trex competitors, which I see, and I think there's a lot of good ones out there. And you made a comment on one of our videos recently, actually, when we went out and saw one of those projects, where it was the color that another brand had that, and I love that color, made the homeowner choose this brand, and you guys are totally fine with whatever brand the homeowner chooses, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do care about quality, right? So if somebody says, I really want X brand, we might say, well, these are the challenges that we've had with this brand. We don't recommend this. This is what I would recommend. It's in the same price point. Here's a color set. Now, if it's truly color and that's what that homeowner wants, I mean, we just make sure that they know what our experience was with that product, and we will, lay it down and just let them know, like, this is where it had a scratching issue or fading issue or something along those lines.
So you have the best experience and the best relationship with Trex.
Absolutely.
And that's why you guys are 9 out of 10 of your decks, you sell our Trex.
Yes.
And I will say this, Trex is the leader in the decking business. Mm-hmm. Their product has definitely evolved for the better, obviously. And it is the benchmark leading product, not just in volume, but in quality.
Yeah, I would say they're 10 years ahead of any other competitor when it comes to innovation and engineering.
What's the latest and greatest with the Trex decking right now? Is there anything that you be like, oh my God, they have the new blah, 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 blah? What is
So they keep adding more and more UV protection when it comes to like
fading, sunspots, and
yep.
that.
And so when it comes to heat mitigation, they've actually added it to like a basics line and the naturals line.
So deck, when you say heat mitigation, it gets really hot and then it will dissipate the heat.
Yes, yeah. So it's a cooler to touch board. So they've come up with a couple new colors that actually have that heat mitigation in it. In the I guess what you would call the lower level Trex.
Yeah.
Which really helps out with somebody that is conscious about budget, but still would like that.
Trex.
Yeah.
So Trex is more than a good, better, best.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's what I figured. So, as far as taking an existing deck, if someone says, I love my deck, the wood boards on top are all buckled and cupped, I just want to replace it and put new skin on it. Easy job for you guys?
Yeah. Yeah, very easy.
Will you put it on an old deck, the base, or you have to inspect it first?
I would inspect it just to make sure, because sometimes old decks were either overspanned, not up to code now. So we may still utilize the existing frame, but we might add a post or two to support it, or we might replace the beam itself because the beam is undersized for the actual span. So, but most of the time joists are perfectly fine as long as it's in good shape. I mean, it's going to last for forever. It seems like, but I mean, it's going to last for a really long time.
Okay, and that's what I wanted to make sure, because again, budget is super important today. People are, not moving, they're improving, which we love. Mm-hmm. Their house is their castle. The staycation is what's super popular, and people are looking for ways to relax after a hard, stressful, and anxious day. They want to come home and chill, right? We just saw a project that you guys recently completed, and I want to talk about it, and we'll have video for everyone to see it. It's amazing. But I think that project that we saw basically exemplifies the staycation. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you can come home from work and all of a sudden open up your sliding door and feel like you went somewhere else, that's awesome. I mean, that's the ultimate money well spent when it comes down to just decompressing on an outside. It raining at nighttime with mosquitoes. I mean, it was just bar none the best investment that homeowner made and others that have done when we've done any type of screen porch.
Interesting point. And so that is really cool. And friends, look for this video. In fact, we'll put the link to the video below so you can watch us on site with Chris and Coy Construction on the really cool deck. I mean, it's really cool. You're going to love it. So on that spirit of cool decks, Hey, I always wanted to put a big hot tub on a deck. When someone says I'm putting a hot tub, do you have to engineer the base to know? Because I don't think people realize how heavy that can be.
Yeah, and it's a lot more structure support. Instead of 16 inches on center for joists, we're running them 12. We have at least 5 footings within that area that's holding that up. So we're really beefing up that substructure. So when somebody, like on your Redex, where the substructure's already there, but they're like, hey, I would like to put a hot tub on here. Well, we have so much more that we have to put into that to throw a hot tub on there. So we want to make sure that those are all up to code and everything's all great with the pounds per square foot and everything.
Have you ever had to go redo someone else's deck because they did it wrong and it was falling apart? Homeowner's like, I should have used you. Now I'm like, here, just do me a favor. Take this deck, fix it, make it right. And then you end up spending more money.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've had a few that, honestly, I'd be really embarrassed if that was our finished product.
Right.
And the homeowner, almost was embarrassed to come in and talk to us because she didn't even want to show the deck to us. But you feel bad and you want to help her out and do all the good things you can do to make it right. But sometimes when you start peeling layers off that onion,
it becomes big problems.
You start feeling like it's not a good thing.
It's a tough situation. Mm-hmm. So back to, they call you up, you come out there, you're there for hour and a half, let's say, you figure everything out. Can you price it right then and there, or do you have to go back and design and then come back?
A lot of times I can get, we give some ballparks out there, somebody.
The range.
Yeah, you're looking at, because it all depends on your selections. Like, what do you really like in the railing? Because some people might think that this is what I want, but then they come to the showroom and they see a different style railing, or they might see a color that they didn't even think they'd like because they're looking at it either on a computer screen or in a brochure or pamphlet that's really small that you can't tell what that color is. They might really like this color, but then all of a sudden they get out to our showroom and they say, oh, wow, this is not the same color that I would like. So yeah, we would give a ballpark range if that's easy enough, when it comes to being able to do that. But ultimately, we go out there, come back, we go back to the office, make sure we get all the quotes together, design. We do the 3D CAD. So when it comes to if it's a new deck and we're trying to visually show what this deck is going to look like, send over some 3D images of it, so you can really see what that deck is going to be like on the back of your house. And then I always like having people come into the office, put it on a big TV screen in the wall, and we can customize it and do anything we need to do to make it yours. I mean, ultimately, it is the homeowner's house.
Of course, it's their castle. Makes perfect sense to me. So, Chris, you've gone back to your office, you've priced it, you've got a new design, and you make an appointment with the homeowner to go present the new deck design. At that point, is it already colors picked out? Have you already specified, or you've specified the brand, obviously, but they still get to pick colors?
Yeah, there's still the options for that. I always like to give people the options of all the different levels of Trex, because I don't want to be the person that says, okay, well, you can afford this, or just because you gave me your budget doesn't mean that you wouldn't pay $2,000 or $3,000 more because you really like this color or you really like this style of rail. So I'd rather give them that option, and then coming in and seeing it is just the number one thing.
Touch and feel.
To be able to walk down the walkway basically of our outdoor showroom and see the railing, and because some people might look at it on a computer screen, pictures, anything, and think, okay, that's what I really like. But then once you see it, and then you see something else that you really like that you didn't know was available, that's even better. So I would never want to install something that the homeowner was questioning or even saw something
they had
else.
To love it. You wanted to love it.
Yeah, I wanted to be super proud of it and everything.
That's important. And again, that's why you guys are so successful. That's why your reputation, and I have, since I've known you guys forever, you're the company that all the other deck companies say, oh, we're as good as, we do the same work as them. You hear that. Mm-hmm. You're the one. Mm-hmm. So why not go with the one? have mad respect for you and your whole team. The workmanship on a job that we just saw is amazing. Your showroom, if you can't find what you want in your showroom, you're not going to have a deck. That's basically the way it seems to me. So now the homeowner says, okay, let's get it done. I'm excited. I like the budget. They sign the contract, deposits made, and then it gets to what, production?
Yeah, so depending on what route we have to go when it comes to like permit processes and stuff like that. So if we have to apply for a permit, get that all set. Sometimes homeowners will need help with HOAs and stuff, getting those all approved. So
you guys have to do all that.
We'll help out with that. A lot of times HOAs, they want the homeowner to at least submit the paperwork, but when it comes to color swatches, our building license, insurance, all that stuff, we send that over. But we get that. We give them a estimated time frame of when we can be there. So like even right now, we're 8 to 10 weeks out, right? So you gave me a deposit today, we're 8 to 10 weeks out. We get to that point where we get to the fall season where
things slow down. Weather.
So we start ramping up like our winter discounts and stuff like that to keep us going throughout the winter. Yeah. So those are always kind of a nice thing too. So
you go year round for homeowners.
Yeah.
What if a homeowner says, I want a winter discount, but I want you to do the footings in the fall, and then when you have that opening of 10 days, a week or 2 weeks, I want you to do my deck then, if they're not in a hurry. So that way you can get other homeowners who want it done right away. You have homeowners that will work with you on that?
Yeah, absolutely. And even with footings, we've set footings in February. So it's not even like a...
The weather's changed a lot.
Yeah, that crazy of a deal. So when it comes to that. But yeah, have we worked around homeowners? I mean, we have 2 that we're going to tear out so the HOA can fix their bond and their trim on their house before we come back and build the deck. So, we work around as much as possible with our schedule and our crews to make sure that we're servicing the homeowner as much as possible.
So what's great about it is that you're never the most expensive. You're never the cheapest. You're always right in the middle. And for being the best company out there, the one that everyone subscribes to or says they're just as good as, Coy does it just right. So that's why your satisfaction levels are so high. And that's why for a company like Hire It Done who refers you and pre-screen you guys, it's an easy no-brainer. It's like if someone says, Adam, I need a deck. I'm like, I got you. It's that simple. So knowing that, it's worth the wait for anyone out there. What's the biggest obstruction you have when people are getting a deck? Is it selecting colors? Is it what level of Trex? Is it should we go with the lighting? What's like the number one stumbling block that you help homeowners get through?
So a lot of it's colors. I mean,
there's so many choices.
There's so many choices of colors, and then that's just not even the decking part of it. So like you have the railing too. So some people are so concerned about making the decking color match or work well with the house, and then all of a sudden, there's railing color I got to figure out, right? So
black.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to kind of be the safest way to put a railing up is just go black, right? But there's people that really like a certain color, really want to go with that. That's probably the biggest hurdle that you ever have to go through is trying to figure that out. Now, sometimes it's design. It could be case by case on smaller lot, trying to figure it out, where to go, where the stairs go. That could be one of the more...
So layout and the planning part, stairs, I never thought about that. That's right.
Stairs are probably the hardest thing to try and make look right and have you land in the right spot that you want to be in. So sometimes the lot or the house or the landscaping can pose a problem to that, to where we're trying to make it look right and not look like it's just thrown in.
Let me ask, what is one thing on a deck that you always tell homeowners to avoid? Is there a product or a design or something about it that you just tell them to avoid?
Great question. So for avoiding, to me, skirting for animal prevention is like the number one thing that people are so concerned about, that a lot of times when you put that skirting down, they still get underneath that skirting, and then you've created a really nice home.
So you have a deck, let's say it's 3 feet off the ground, and got steps off to the side, and they want to put a lattice.
Yep, or skirt.
Animals get through everything.
They'll figure out a way to get through there.
So what did you suggest? What do you do?
Leave it open. So you leave it open, have it open so they don't feel like it's a home. Once they put a hole underneath there and try and dig underneath that, they've pack all their little home stuff right next to the corner and all that good stuff, and you've created a home underneath there. Where it's open, they don't feel like they're as safe. They want to be out of there. They hear you, they want to be out of there. If they're underneath there, they feel like they're safe even though you're walking on top of it. So that's probably like the number one. Now, if skirting is for looks and aesthetics, all for it. But when people bring up the animal prevention, it's really hard to keep them out of there. And that's the number one thing is like you create a home when you put a skirting down. Right.
You're actually giving them the 4 walls.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good point. I never thought of that because people want to think the opposite. Oh, we're going to protect it. We're going to cover it. No one's going to get in there. Okay. It makes sense. Now, if it's off the ground you tell the people not to put anything there, how do you you smooth out the floor underneath? Is that basically what it is?
Yeah, I mean, we'll put like plastic and stone underneath there. So plastic first to keep the weeds down.
Okay.
And then the stones hold the plastic down. And then the stones are also for decorative as well. So it serves 2 purposes at that point.
Well, that's interesting. So you're halfway through the year. What does the rest of the year look like? Are you guys on pace for what you budgeted? Or, because, this was a transition year. It's been really a strange economy the last couple of years, actually. How's business for you guys?
Good. We started off the year as first couple months were a little slower.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden, March hit, it was just like, here we go, right? And just trying to keep up and keeping up with the demand of us going out there taking a look at it, plus the demand of getting the decks built. It's always a challenge. It's always a challenge.
Is there a shortage, or is it to get actual Trex product? Is it, or there's enough stock and supply you don't have to worry?
Yeah, no, there's nothing out there that we're worrying about right now, other than maybe some colors that are going to be discontinued, later on during the year that somebody might want, where if we know that colors, we're going to build that color decking, we might order it ahead of time just to have it.
So basically it's the labor, managing the amount of customers. Now, you guys are in Metro Detroit, but you actually do the whole state?
Yeah, we'll go all over. We just finished a project in Alpena. We have another one in Torch Lake that we're going to be doing here shortly. So we do go up north. We've gone west as well. So we have guys that like to cruise that will go camp and have fun.
Spend a week and make a vacation out of it while they're working.
Actually, one of the crew is taking his whole family up there. They're going camping, and he's going to work while his family plays at the campground and stays at the lake and goes swimming and does all that cool stuff.
Killing 2 birds with 1 stone is the right way to do it.
Yeah,
I'm liking that. So, Chris, we're halfway through the year. You told me it started out slow, and then all of a sudden, kaboom! It's busy as can be. We're heading into the vacation season where homeowners are taking vacations. Does that allow you to work, how you work in the business, you work on the business? Working on the business is where you would plan for upcoming seasons. Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah, so we're getting into the season where I'm helping out with production, forecasting the future on our fall season, right? So we're trying to figure out, okay, when's the plan for winter discounts, because we do work all year round. So those are the big things. So right now we're going to start ramping up on our winter discounts, getting to the point where if you're ready to go, but you don't want to ruin your summer,
right?
Because we're going to be taking up a week's worth of maybe really nice time, because that's how it always works. We build it in a really nice time, and then when we're done, it rains. So
there's an advantage, and this is important. There's an advantage to getting your deck done in the winter if you have the time and the patience. Sign up now, lock in your price, and if you wait, you'll have the rest of your summer to enjoy. And then in the spring, you have the whole season in spring, summer, and fall, obviously, to get the best use out of your deck. What kind of discounts can someone get if they decide they want to wait?
Usually it varies from the job size, right? But like usually like a 5 or 10% discount is
That's a lot.
Yeah, you're looking at a significant amount of savings. So it always depends on the actual discount or size of the deck itself. But when it comes down to it, we definitely try and work our way through that winter months. And to be honest with you, the winter time is the best time to have your deck built. You're not utilizing it. Everyone here inside, our crews want to work.
Right. There's a benefit. And I don't think people explain that or communicate that enough to the public where it may make sense. Deck building season should be in the winter. Deck using season is in the spring, summer, fall.
There's so many times where somebody might sign up with us in February, just praying that we get there in April to utilize their deck in May, right? Like there's so many times, right?
How bad does weather impact when it rains for like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all rain? You can't start the job Tuesday because it's 3 days of drenching water. Mm-hmm. Am I right by saying that?
Yeah, and a lot of times it's more or less the post holes, right? If the post holes are covered in water,
right,
it's just full of water, we have to get those out, get everything all ready. The post holes have to pass. Now, if it's a redeck, we don't care if it's been pouring that whole time. We can run through it, and honestly, we'd rather have snow than rain, which is crazy to think of, but we can work a lot longer in snow than we can if it's downpouring rain.
I agree with you. Well, there you have it. Great information. I want to thank you again for coming on the show. You got some good things in the future, perhaps a potential new location coming up.
Yeah, we're looking at possibly relocating to where we have a much larger indoor showroom.
Wow.
Which will be really nice, and then a little bit of outdoor possibly. So we're still in the works of that. So we're trying to figure out exactly how we're gonna manage that and
growth. It's all about growing. I agree with that. That's fantastic. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast today. Real quickly, give everyone the information if they want to call you, if they want to get more information on Trex.
Phone number 248-363-1050, and then coyconstruction.com to check out our work.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another great interview. We have Coy Construction here today, and if you're looking to get a deck done, give them a call. The number is at the bottom of the screen. You'll get the best service, the best pricing. You'll be happy. You'll be thanking me. Thanks for tuning in.